From the Clark Ford Studio in Oxford, Mississippi, MVW Digital proudly presents the Oxford Exxon Podcast.
I'd say thanks for tuning in, but why am I going to give you a round of applause for something you're supposed to do, to be frank?
And now, here are your hosts, Chase Parham.
And broadcast school has really paid off.
And Neal McCready.
I deserve to be on TV.
Welcome to this Tuesday edition of the Oxford Exxon Podcast. Chase Parham, Neal McCready, Clark Ford Studio this morning. We'll talk some Women's football. We will go back to the Nick Saban well, as apparently he's talking more than anyone else with things that are getting a little traction this week, and talk about whatever else over the next hour or so with you here on the Oxford Exxon Podcast. It's brought to you, obviously, by the Oxford Exxon, Highway 6 West. There in Oxford, get the daiquiris as low as $3.99, as big as 44 ounces if you so wish, and you also can save some money at the pump with the Speed Pass Plus app, the mobile rewards program, and more. Also soon, football season will be here. You'll get the opportunity to get those 49-cent bottomless refills. Or just get your stadium cup, take it into the Oxford Exxon, any Craddock Oil location in Mississippi, 49 cents for a large fountain drink refill there with Craddock Oil. And again, coming to you from the Clark Ford Studio.
We are Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi, 662-257-1900 is the number. Call it. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell him what Ford you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. You guys know the routine by now. Here's the part you really need to know. Corey wants to be your car guy. He wants to be your truck guy. People say, what does that mean? Call that number, get a quote, and you'll start to see what I'm talking about. When you get a Clark Ford vehicle, not only do you get a great product, of course, but you get phenomenal service, a different kind of service that goes the extra yard and then some, the extra mile and then some for you. 662-257-1900.
So yesterday on, number one, there's plenty of practice content at rebelgrove.com. You can check that out. Also, a video up on the site that has gained some traction, has excited some people, I guess you would say, Neal.
Yep.
Go to rebelgrove.com. If you're a subscriber, you can find that. You can watch it. You can participate in that conversation. But I'll kind of open the floor here to you and allow you to kind of take me through the process of what's up.
Okay, so yesterday, the media availability was periods 1 through 8. Video was allowed in periods 1 through 3. Period 1 was stretching, literally stretching. And I'm pro stretching.
They have to stretch. That's
football
fine.
Players should definitely stretch before they begin the practice of playing football. They should absolutely stretch. And so they did. They stretched for about 10 minutes, and then they went into period 2. You know me as a guy who has never, ever, ever once played on the offensive line. I am fascinated by offensive line play.
For whatever reason, it's your little quirk. You like it.
It is. I like the Big Ten and offensive line play. I've never played in the Big Ten. I've never been to a Big Ten game. And I've never played the offensive line, but that's my thing. It's my little football fetish, perhaps. So I go over to where the offensive lineman, and I think on this team, it is one of the two big storylines. A redshirt freshman quarterback who is being asked to be a redshirts junior this year. And we'll probably talk about him in a little bit. And offensive line play. I think those are the two big storylines on this team. So I go over to watch the offensive line, and I break out the video because I have discovered that a lot of people share my affinity for offensive line drills, and they like to see how different guys look and if different guys are progressing, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
It is very complicated for a position, don't get me wrong, but for the novice, it's also, hey, that guy beat that guy. It's very easy to get the top and the bottom ends of it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I can't get through all the minutia, but I can go, hey, that guy's good, that guy's not good, that guy's pretty decent. Okay, move on with our day.
So I hit the record button. Now, two things you got to remember. In the literal heat of the moment, it's hotter than hell out there yesterday. I mean, God, it was brutal. It was brutal. And my phone's getting hot. I can't see. It's so bright that I can't really see what exactly I'm filming, but my ears are telling me, uh-oh, warning signs, because Rich Rodriguez is coaching hard. And he's using some words, and he's using some descriptions that are not fit for young ears, probably not fit for sensitive ears, certainly not fit for you to play it on your office desktop.
I'm not playing the audio here on this podcast.
No, we're not. We're not going to do that. Probably shouldn't do that. Wouldn't be a good idea. So I film it, and a couple of the guys that are standing over there next to me, like staff type people, like support staff type people, like, you can't use that. And I'm like, well, and so I start this internal debate in my head. Can I use that? So let's break this down. Why not? It's a Tuesday. They play in 18 days.
We're counting it down. It was 19 yesterday, so it's 18 today.
So can I use it? Yeah, I can use it.
It is on your phone from a relevant part of practice. Yes, you can use it.
Yeah. Now, if you tell me that a new rule is launched effective tomorrow, I'm not surprised. Hey, no audio on your video, at which point I will not do any more video. Because video without audio is silly. It's not complete. It's at this point I will say, well, that's just it. We won't do it anymore. Because you know me, I'm not a big, hey, let's have a ton of rules. Let's have some simple rules. Lay them down, be done with it. If I'm out there and you tell me these are the periods that I can be out there, I'm a reporter. I've made my stance on this over the years perfectly clear. I have never once complained about access. There were people out there yesterday complaining about access. I have never once complained about access. I never will. That's their decision. Make it. But if you tell me as a reporter, I'm there wearing a credential. If you tell me as a reporter, these are the periods that are available to you, these are the periods that are available for you to film, and I do those things within the rules, absolutely everything is on the record. Agreed?
Yeah, all good.
Okay. So the answer of can you use that video? Absolutely, I can use that video. It was in period 2. Yes, I can use that video. Should I use that video? Well, now we get into the debate. And at first, I wasn't going to do it. At first, I loaded it into our YouTube, which we use as a storage facility for video, and I was going to delete it. And then I thought, wait a minute. You just wrote a story where people talked about edge. Rich Rodriguez's thing is he wants his offense to have a, quote, hard edge, end quote. And I just wrote a story where I had asked several offensive linemen, what does that mean? What does that mean? I'd written a story earlier in camp where I'd asked Rich Rodriguez, what does that mean? Here, in this 2-minute plus video, you see it. You hear it. You see the offensive coordinator trying to instill a hard edge into his offense 2 days after it apparently had a scrimmage. I didn't see the scrimmage. People are being very vague about the scrimmage, but if I'm putting some hints together, the offense wasn't overwhelming in the scrimmage. So they went into the drill, and the drill was what it was, and frankly, it wasn't that bad, other than some stuff with thumbs and faces and where you put things, and it was graphic. Football's a graphic game. If you wanted to see what edge looks like, sounds like, what they're trying to do, how they're trying to change the personality of a program, and they are absolutely trying to get completely away from the touchy, happy, feel-good, love each other, love your neighbor, Hugh Freeze system, and get back to being a hard-nosed, blue-collar, kick-your-ass football program. That is that whether you like one way or like the other way or like something in between or like both or dislike both, agree, disagree, that is up to you. It is absolutely factual that they are trying to move from, hey, let's have a commitment ceremony where everybody comes up and
or a funeral.
Or a funeral and has a bracelet and says, I'm in, to, hey, let's go knock their into the dirt.
Yeah.
Let's kick them into submission. Will it work? I don't know, boys and girls. The score's going to read 0-0 at 11 a.m. on the 31st. I promise you that. What it reads at 11:02 or at 12:07 or at 1:38 or at 2:20, I don't know.
But the positive to it is, look, it's SEC football. There are no congeniality awards.
No. I've yet to see that.
Hey.
I've yet to see, hey, you guys didn't win, but, man, I tell you, y'all were cool.
Yeah, the sportsmanship was off the charts.
Yeah. So, anyway, I said, well, that's what it sounds like. Mm-hmm. That's what it looks like. My job is to be a conduit. My job is to provide information to people who pay us for information. I get all these people that come up to me. I know you do, because, God, if I get it once, you get it 1,000 times. How do they look? Well, I watch them block bags. If they play against bags, I like their chances. And people get pissed off, and they go, well, I didn't ask you to be a smartass. I'm like, well, I'm not being a smartass. That's what we see. How do they look? This is how they look. What's it like? That's what it's like. Right there. So I put it up on the site. I put pretty solid disclaimer on it, I felt. And it appeared to be not unanimously well received. I got some pushback, but pretty close. I think it fired a lot of people up. I think it got people excited.
It's been well viewed.
It's been viewed. I anticipate probably getting a little pushback from Ole Miss in the next couple of days. I'm glad it's you going out there tomorrow and not me. But I stand by my decision to use it. It was the right thing to do. I put it basically behind a paywall. I know you can go get it on YouTube, and if it goes viral, it goes viral.
It's legal. It's fine. So, yeah, fine.
It's football.
Yeah.
But boys and girls, that's what football is, especially in the trenches. It's not, hey, listen, I was sort of wondering if you might stand still right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of just hook you a little, and I'm going to allow our nice running back to run through this gap that I'm going to create. It doesn't work like that. And if this team's going to win, it's going to be because they have a different kind of mentality. Because, Chase, they don't have 6 NFL offensive linemen on the roster. They've got a redshirt freshman quarterback. They do have a stable of pretty good running backs. I like their running backs more and more every day. They have a bunch of unproven wide receivers. They've got one proven wide receiver, one kind of proven wide receiver, one kind of proven tight end, and a bunch of question marks. Now, that doesn't mean all those question marks are going to be bad. But if you're going, oh, that dude for sure. If you're saying, hey, there is no doubt in my mind that DeMarcus Gregory is going to be a superstar. Okay, well, you're just putting glasses on. Red and blue, thick, tinted glasses. You might be right. You might be wrong. But you are basing that on nothing other than fandom. Is that fair?
Yeah, we haven't, nobody's seen him. So I don't know.
You're basing that on nothing but fandom. Nothing. And you might be right.
Yeah, some dudes will emerge.
Yeah, sure.
Some dudes won't.
And some dudes won't. But that's the way I looked at it. I thought about all this stuff, and I said, yeah, I'm absolutely using it. That's what it looks like. That's what it sounds like. That's what he's trying to do. And he's a different cat. Anybody who thinks Rich Rodriguez is ready to just cast away into retirement, anybody who thinks Rich Rodriguez is not completely in on the job that he's doing, anybody who thinks Rich Rodriguez does not want to reemerge as a force in college football, those 2 minutes ought to silence those worries.
He has his energy about him. We'll put it that way.
He has a tremendous amount of energy. He is involved. One of the questions I get in the mailbag, I know we got to go to a break here in a little bit. One of the questions I get in the mailbag, and I'm going to answer it, is it different? Yeah, it's a lot different. It's a lot different. Luke is far more comfortable. He's got people that he trusts. He's got a better coaching staff, significantly better coaching staff. Rodriguez is a game changer. Bicknell's a very good coach. That's been proven. But Bicknell he's not cerebral, if you will. He's a really good guy. I mean, like, on the list of people on that staff, who would you like to go have a beer with and just hang with?
It's a good dude. Yeah.
Bicknell might be number 1 or number 2 on that list. Really smart guy, can tell some stories. He's funny, and he'll get after you. But that's not his nature, I don't think. His nature is not to just.
No, his nature is more, I'm going to speak in a way to make you have to actually directly listen and look at me.
Yes.
I'm not going to just yell at you, hey, focus here, let me get this to you, and then we'll go from there.
He's not volcanic.
No.
And if he tried to be, it wouldn't be genuine.
It would come off disingenuous.
Yes. It's like Matt. Matt Luke is not a volcanic human being.
No.
He's a passionate person. He loves what he does. He loves Ole Miss. He wants this to work. Bad enough to hire people with bigger personalities than him. Bad enough to hire people who, if it works, will get the credit more than he will. That's how bad he wants it.
Yeah, Rodriguez overtakes rooms when he's in them.
People say, what's the difference? I'll tell you the difference between Hugh Freeze and Matt Luke. Y'all want to know the difference between Hugh Freeze and Matt Luke? Here it is. Hugh Freeze wanted Hugh Freeze to win. Matt Luke wants Ole Miss to win. And it is absolutely a different thing. And I'm not saying one's right or wrong. Because, hey, there's some great people out there that are selfish as hell.
A lot of very successful people are selfish as hell.
Yes, absolutely. Michael Jordan wanted Michael Jordan to win.
Yeah.
More than he really cared whether the Chicago Bulls won. The fact that the two went hand in hand. LeBron James wants LeBron James to win. But those people are historically great. Michael Jordan also had the Bulls ever come to him and say, hey, we're going to trade Pippen. He would have said, no, the hell you are. No, you're not. LeBron's smart enough to go, hey, you know what, man? I got to get around some more talented people. I'm not going to put this damn thing on my back and do it. I can't do it. I got to get D-Wade and Bosh. I got to get Anthony Davis. I got to get Kyrie. Hey, let's get DeMarcus Cousins. Hey, I'm going to try to get Paul George. I'm going to try to get Kawhi. I mean, give credit where credit's due now. Freeze was not that guy.
Well, I mean, to the point of, that's what I'm saying. There's a difference. Sometimes it's not a hindrance if you're willing to do those things that you're talking about from an NBA standpoint. It's a hindrance when you go, hey, I can't hire that guy because he takes shine off me. I can't do this. I'm directly impacting my staff in a negative way because of what I'm doing.
You'll see NFL quarterbacks go in and go, I'll redo my contract if we'll get this dude.
Yeah, Brady does it all the time.
I'll fix my damn contract. What do we need to do?
Yeah.
I already talked to Giselle, and she said it's cool, so let's shave $4 million here and do something here and bring in a dude I can throw the ball to 92 times.
Yeah.
Cool? That's greatness.
Yeah.
I'm not picking on Freeze here. Freeze had to be the smartest guy in the room. It was a requirement.
It was the fracture with Dan Werner.
Yes.
After Werner operated that offense completely, pretty much with autonomy, the second half of 2015.
It's why when people get mad at Longo.
We've gone through those stories.
Longo was brought in to be the scapegoat. I'm convinced of it. They brought Longo in so that when Longo failed, Hugh could come in on his white horse, take over the offense, and save the day. Convinced of it. He would disagree. He would tell me I'm being a bad word and pray for me. But it's the truth. It's what I believe. Matt Lucas brought Rich Rodriguez in and said, hey, it's yours. Tell me what you need. A lot of credit goes there. A lot of credit goes there. So, yes, it's totally different. Practices are more intense. They're more organized. They're more structured. They what I see, and we only see 8 periods, so maybe starting with period 9, it's an absolute circus. I have no idea. I see the first 8. But what I see is tangibly different. Now, again, when people go, so you're telling me they're going to win 9 games? Nope. I don't know what it's going to translate to.
It translates to more organization because they have 4 head coaches on their coaching staff. 4.
And people
Which is a very important thing.
People that are very comfortable in their roles. I always do NBA analogies because I watch a lot of NBA.
But no, comfort in the role is it, because Rodriguez in his role, McIntyre in his role, hell, even Bicknell to a point because of what his resume and past history is. if any of those guys are discontented, it's over. You have no shot. It's mutiny.
If the Clippers with Paul George and Kawhi Leonard go out there and Patrick Beverley starts taking 24 shots, they're not going to win. It's imperative that Patrick Beverley knows that his role is to get the damn ball up the court, get it into the offense, and then go set a screen.
Yeah.
And on defense, to play his off. That's his role. And if he'll accept that role, he'll get 8 shots.
Yeah.
He'll score 10 points. But if he suddenly says, you know what, I am Patrick effing Beverley. I am the best player that's ever come out of wherever the hell he's from. He's from Chicago. I'm the best player to come out of my high school in Chicago. I was a dog at Arkansas. I was a dog with the Rockets, and I'm about to be a dog right here. Clippers going to have some problems. Right there, they got problems. If Kyle Kuzma this year with the Lakers goes, I know we got LeBron. I get it. Dude's 35. I know we got Anthony Davis. He hadn't committed to anything. I'm young. It's my time to shine. Give me the damn ball. Lakers are going to have some problems. Let's go. Baby, let's see the Rockets. How do Russell Westbrook and James Harden coexist? I'm fascinated. We'll see. They both can't take 50 shots. So people have to accept roles. It's one of the things you see when you look at on that coaching staff. Everybody appears to have accepted their role. The roles appear to be well-defined. It's very organized. And how that translates will be fascinating. But it's and I know people say, well, it's a year too late. I don't know that he could have put this together a year ago.
Patrick Beverley played for one of the high schools that was in Hoop Dreams.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, John Marshall High School in Chicago.
Oh.
He probably is the best basketball player to come out of his high school.
He probably
looking
is.
At the list. He and Alfonso McKinney are from the same high school.
Good player.
Yeah. Not Patrick Beverley.
No.
I was expecting more than that was the reason I was reading it, because that's a pretty prominent high school in Chicago.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting a lot of dudes.
Tells you a lot, though, about, just roles and stuff. And
It's why super teams don't work always. Stuff happens.
it's why the Thunder
Humans.
Carmelo Anthony just did not accept the role that Billy Donovan carved out for him in Oklahoma City. Just didn't do it. Just didn't do it.
Ole Miss basketball doesn't work if Breein Tyree and Devontae Shuler fight over one position.
Well, think about Carmelo for a minute. Think about Carmelo Anthony for a
Yeah.
minute. I dare say he was the best player on every team he ever played for growing up. As a freshman at Syracuse, he took them to the national title. Gets drafted, is a superstar with the Nuggets, goes to the Knicks, is a superstar with the Knicks. Then he goes to Oklahoma City, and you're with Russell Westbrook and Paul George, and like, hey, here's what we want you to do. We want you to be a guy on the wing, make some threes, run the second unit. Second unit? You want to run the second? I run the first unit. No. We have Russell Westbrook and Paul George to do that. Yeah, but I'm Carmelo Anthony. Have you seen how many points I've scored? I am a walking bucket. Yeah, but you're in your 30s now, and we need you. I'm Carmelo effing Anthony, and that's exactly what happened. And even though he told himself, I'm going to do it, in the heat of the moment, he couldn't do it. He wanted the ball. And they'd pass it down to him, and sure enough, here we go. Dribble, 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 dribble. Stand around. Dribble, dribble, dribble. Fade away. Well, that's not the offense. Didn't work. Get into a postseason series against the Jazz, you lose. It's very difficult. And they lost to a team, ironically, in Utah that had guys playing roles, very defined roles. Mm-hmm. And so it's a part of sports. I don't think anybody was comfortable with roles last year. I don't think Matt Luke was comfortable with the roles. Everybody makes jokes about him staring at the scoreboard and with that faraway look in his eye. I think that was what uncomfortable looks like.
Yeah.
Like when you're on a date. When you were younger, and you knew this is bad. There's no chance this goes anywhere, short term or long term. There's no chance this night ends in us making out on the couch, and there is 0% chance that this ends up with us walking down an aisle together. And you're only
I got to get through 90 minutes.
And you're only at the appetizer phase of dinner.
Yeah. And
you start kind of staring off into the distance. That was Matt. Matt knew in September this isn't going to work. There's nothing I can do. But damn it, they're going to make us play these 12 games.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what that look was. I bet you see a much more outwardly engaged Matt Luke, and it won't be because he's pretending. It's going to be because he's more comfortable in whatever it is, even if it's not going well.
Yeah. Podcast brought to you in part by Visit Oxford. Visit oxfordms.com/events to see everything going on locally. You can see places to stay, eat, do, and see a lot of different things there. If you're just coming in, need a little refresher on what's open and what's around, hours and whatnot, it's your central hub for those items. They also give you a calendar of events. We know that music and movies in the park. It's at Event Park, August 16th from 7 to 9 p.m. The Mississippi Music and Arts Festival, August 24th, and much, much more as well. We'll continue to bring that to you throughout the fall and more here at rebelgrove.com and MPW Digital. But head on over, visit oxfordms.com, go to the events page and see what's all going on in Oxford.
And a good place to stay in Oxford if you do that is Home 2 Suites by Hilton Oxford, located at the intersection of South Lamar and Belk Boulevard. This newly opened all-suite Hilton property offers guests lots of extra amenities, spacious suites with sleeper sofas, fully equipped kitchens. You get complimentary breakfast each morning, lots of options to choose from, a fully equipped fitness center, free laundry facility, complimentary Wi-Fi throughout the hotel, and much more. Business travelers will enjoy the front patio and the fire pit area to relax after a long day. The lobby offers lots of seating options, the perfect spot to enjoy a cup of coffee while catching up on some emails. There's an outdoor saltwater pool, 2 gas grills where you can enjoy the final days of summer. If you need to host a meeting or presentation in Oxford, Home 2 Suites has a 570-square-foot meeting room available for rental that can be set in a variety of ways. Extended stay rates are available. Hilton Honors Points can be earned for stays, redeemed for bookings 662-238-3400, or visit home2oxford.home2suitesbyhilton.com. You can follow them on Instagram, Facebook, to get more information and to find out what promotions might be available to you. Don't miss 1 minute of the action at the Vault this season as Ole Miss football arrives this September. Reserve your season tickets with the new 2019 season ticket pricing for just $299. For more information, visit OleMissTix.com. That's OleMissTix.com. Podcast also brought to you by Pinnacle Trust. They're based in Madison, Mississippi. They represent clients in more than 20 states. They were founded in 1997, and what they do is they provide detailed, specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and so much more. At Pinnacle Trust, investing is treated like a commodity. Decisions are made using objective information and research, not emotions. So get in touch with them. Tell them that you heard about it on the podcast, and you'll get 10% off your first year's fee. It's pintrust.com, PINNtrust.com. My mailbag's going up later, not later today, probably first thing in the morning. I'm about 2/3 of the way through it. It's brought to you by the Westin Jackson, where you can go restore serenity to your soul by visiting Soul Spots, the ultimate luxury experience in downtown Jackson. You can also gather at Estelle Wine Bar and Bistro right there in the Westin. Sip on a Creative Crafts cocktail, enjoy their curated wine list. It's open for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and Sunday brunch. So go gather at Estelle tonight. And we're brought to you by John Edwards of Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis. John's in Las Vegas this week at a Virtuoso convention. Virtuoso is a worldwide network of travel partners that allows John to supply his clients with added values and unique benefits that are simply not available to other travelers. So the next few days will be a really good time to get in touch with John. He's hanging around thousands of other travel industry people, getting a lot of new ideas, learning a lot about new places all over the globe, unique places to travel. So check it out. Get in touch with him, 901-494-3387 or jedwards@regencytravel.net. First-time clients can save $50 off their first booked trip just by telling John you heard about Regency Travel on the podcast.
Podcast is brought to you by Community Mortgage, Oxford, Memphis, Settle County, and Chattanooga. Underwriting and processing is done in Memphis. Securing local underwriting understands your market, a leader in condo financing, the float-down option, and with rates as low as they've been in about 2 years. Now it's a good time to refinance, maybe a good time to purchase, or just talk to Jason about your options. 662-234-2704 or JLOWE at CommunityMTG.com. So, This got sent to us yesterday, a video that I'm now searching for. Nick Saban discussing second chances, discipline in his program. It's kind of it was the thing he came into a press conference wanting to talk about because it appeared that he went on a little bit of a rant in the middle of normal questions that happened during an August camp. So I will let me turn the volume up. I'll play it for you guys now. Neil and I have already heard it. We've obviously saw it yesterday, but just so I don't blur you out, let me put some headphones in to make sure I'm not killing you with volume here. But here is Nick Saban yesterday discussing this.
There's always a lot of criticism out there when somebody does something wrong. Everybody wants to know how you're going to punish the guy. All right, but there's not enough for 19 and 20-year-old kids, people out there saying, why don't you give them another chance? All right, so I'm going to give a speech right now about this. Like, where do you want him to be? Guy makes a mistake. Where do you want him to be? You want him to be in the street? Or do you want him to be here graduating? You know, when I was over there at the Nagurski, Muhsin Muhammad, who played 15 years for the Carolina Panthers, played for me at Michigan State. Everybody in the school, every newspaper guy, everybody was killing the guy because he got in trouble and said there's no way he should be on our team. I didn't kick him off the team. I suspended him. I made him do stuff. He graduated from Michigan State. He played 15 years in the league. All right, he's a president of a company now. And he has 7 children, and his oldest daughter goes to Princeton. So who was right? I feel strong about this now, really strong. All right, about all the criticism out there of every guy that's 19 years old that makes a mistake, and you all kill him. And then some people won't stand up for him. So my question to you is, where do you want him to be? You want to condemn him to a life sentence? Or do you want the guy to have his children going to Princeton? You want to close on that, or we want to just... You guys are getting me fired up. You better be careful on this one, buddy. You might want to just pass that thing on down the road.
He's such a jerk. But well, the part there at the end where he's picking on the next guy for grabbing the mic.
Yeah, and asking. So, tell me about so-and-so.
Yeah, how's the tight end looking?
Coach, are we going to be good? Please tell me we're going to beat Clemson. All that stuff you said is interesting and all, but you think we're going to beat Clemson this year?
Look, in a vacuum, I understand what he's saying. I agree with him.
Yeah, sure. Sure.
The decision for any coach on any situation is a couple different fold when this comes up. It's what was the violation? How severe was it? If I keep him, does it impact my team? Does it impact my ability to discipline other players? Am I setting separate standards for other players? Something that some coaches we've covered had a little deal with there.
Hey, how's your mom? She all right?
Well, I mean, to the point of a guy that was a 4-star. I'll do it this way: a 4-star signee had an injury, came back and needed to be a productive part of the Ole Miss football team to help. Didn't get spoken to in the hall when he was injured.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Didn't get spoken to in the hall. So it's when do your disciplinary situations affect the rest of the roster, affect whatever. I agree with him. It's grandstanding from the standpoint of it's going to depend on who the dude is a little bit. And 2, there are instances where someone just simply should not be a member of a program or a team.
Sure.
And had he gone there and thrown a few caveats in, I'd go, yeah, 100% good.
Had he said something?
It falls short when it's like, well, if a dude is out stealing stuff or stealing other guys' stuff in the freaking locker room, get rid of them. Not everybody deserves a second chance, depending on what your action is and how it affects others.
If I'm running a program sexual abuse or physical abuse of a woman, you're out. No second chance. You break curfew, you do some stupid stuff, I'm going to give you another chance. I'm going to treat you how I would treat, ideally, my own child. But there are limits. I get what he's saying. I generally agree with him. I generally agree guys at 19 deserve a second chance. I did stupid stuff at 19. No, I didn't do anything criminal.
You didn't have social media, and you did not have a microscope on you to the level that they do now, where, frankly, you and I both probably got away with things that would be huge deals were you in those situations.
Yeah, maybe, extent. I guess. I mean, like if a kid gets a public drunk,
yeah,
I'm not kicking him off the damn team. It's stupid. Gets video emerges of him beating a girl, he's out. Gone. That day, gone. Somebody else wants to give him a second chance, that's on them. I'm not.
Yeah.
And my statement is we have a zero tolerance on that.
Yeah, if you're coaching, I mentioned him earlier about something else we were talking about. Joe Mixon, done.
He's done.
Gone.
He's out.
Finished.
But, a kid gets busted doing something stupid. Yeah, I get what he's saying. That might be the learning lesson for that kid that changes his life.
To me, so much of it is how it impacts your program as a whole, bottom line.
And inside your program, and this goes to the point that you were referencing with the player that wasn't spoken to in the hall. Mm-hmm. If inside your program it's not viewed as genuine, well, you're screwed.
Yeah.
You've lost your team. And you're in the process of losing your team. It's why I would have paid, frankly, to watch 2017 under a different coach.
You would really like to have seen that, wouldn't you?
I think 4 wins would have been an achievement. That was going to be the most comical commitment ceremony in the history of commitment ceremonies. Buy-in was going to be difficult.
A little low.
Yeah. It's my one big Matt Luke defense. And I make no secret of the fact that I like Matt, but I cover Matt, and if they do well, they do well. If they don't, they don't. I'm not doing it. I'm not calling any plays. You can criticize the decision to keep Longo and McGriff another year. It's valid. I think in his heart of hearts, Matt would admit it's valid. They'd have to turn around and go, that 6-6 was overachieving like some bitch. Because it was. It was. A lot of stuff going on that year.
Grabbing a few SEC wins in that season was
big time, I'm just telling you. 6-6 that year was overachieving. And I know Fitzgerald broke his ankle and all that stuff. I get it. Injuries happen in football.
Well, the credit's not even – it is the win in Starkville that night, but he had those son of a guns locked in. Had them ready
all year.
Where you could figure it out, and if they had a shot to win, they could pull it off.
If they went to Kentucky and won, I didn't think they were going to go to Kentucky and win.
Yeah.
They were done. I thought they were done. I thought they were done all year. They kept coming back and winning, and that's Matt. It's on those kids. It's credit to the kids. It's credit to Matt. You have to give credit. If you're going to turn around and go, hey, he made a mistake keeping Longo and McGriff. Yep, I agree. I understand the mistake.
But I agree.
But I agree.
Wasn't scoreboard business. You kept them. Okay, you got to deal with that.
Yeah. It's your call.
Yeah.
I understand why you did it. The ramifications were not good. I get it, but he deserves a lot of credit for what he did in 17. It was strong. It was stronger than maybe we even gave credit for it.
This is not something we typically talk about, but it came up on Twitter a second ago. If you're listening to this podcast later today and you're like out running, go inside. The heat index right now is 94. It's 8:50 in the morning. The heat index at the Memphis International Airport last night at 11 o'clock was 104. The high today in Oxford for a heat index is 115. Go inside.
Laura wanted me to do the yard yesterday, and it was 5 o'clock. And I'd opened the garage, and I couldn't get the edger to start.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I fixed it. by myself.
Did you?
I've never felt like such a man. It's
made you want to like go out and buy a tool belt, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
I've never felt more like a man than I did at that moment. God, it was a good feeling. Anyway, right before I could get started, the rain came.
You got rain yesterday?
Oh, it rained here yesterday for 45 minutes.
No kidding?
Did not cool anything off at all.
Made it steamy.
Oh, like a just
sauna.
a sauna.
Like
Absolutely like sitting in a sauna.
Well,
and so I said, well, I can't do that.
I'm telling people this a little bit because I was a little bit of a dummy. We got cloud cover, but never got rain yesterday. And I'd had a lot of stuff going on yesterday. I had whatever. And I went for a run about 5:15 yesterday. And about halfway through, I got back to the house where typically I go again, and I went, what am I doing? This is really dumb. Like, I was covered in sweat.
Oh, yeah.
I'll tell you about I was sweating. I had my earbuds in, and sweat had gotten in behind them, and I could tell it was just sitting in my ear.
Kind of sloshing.
Yeah, I could feel it in my ear, and I was like, I'm going to have to pour some peroxide in later and get that out or something. And I thought, okay, stop. What the hell are you doing? Just quit. Go inside.
Well, I ran on Friday afternoon, and it was plenty hot. It wasn't as hot as it was yesterday at all. And I thought yesterday, because at one point yesterday I thought because what I've been doing to try to like break through a little weight plateau that I've hit is after I do Peloton or whatever, later in the day I'll do a short run. Just a little 2-3 mile run to add something to my regimen.
Extra 400 calories. Whatever.
Yeah. And speed your metabolism a little. And I thought about it yesterday, and I said, nah, this is too hot. It's not worth it. Who am I doing this for?
It was a little stupid.
Yeah.
So today's worse is my point.
Carson's soccer coach sent out a thing at 4 something yesterday that just said, hey, see you Wednesday.
I don't think we're getting real rain until next week. I'm a little scared to even look at weekend temperatures. I don't know what we're looking at. So
well, I'll tell you how dry it is. I've noticed like some of the people who have their yards freshly cut, you can tell because the color of the yard is different. You can tell just how dry it is here.
So there's your weather report for the day.
You're welcome, everyone.
Yeah,
we're here to serve.
We're adding something else to the podcast.
It's what we do
these days.
We talk some sports. We did hardcore sports.
We did. There's truth. Let's see. I'm a little scared to open the story on the front of ESPN.com. We got some other stuff in a minute. We'll get to that. It says the Drew Brees decline and what it's like when aging star quarterbacks lose it is the main story at ESPN.com this morning. I'm a little scared to click this.
Did you read Larry Holder's story about it?
I have not yet.
It was good. The decline really wasn't much of a decline.
I had eyes.
I mean, there was some stuff.
After the Cowboys game, that throw down the middle of the field was not the same zip.
There was some stuff. You got to manage his load.
I still just don't think you can sit him for weeks. I get it.
Got to get him in January. He's got to be 100% in January.
Just make the tournament, as Mike Bianco says.
Make the tournament. Yep, there's something to be said for that. You know, it's kind of a baseball team. It's August.
Dan Jennings, your boy, will tell you if you get in the tournament, you got some shots at some things. They got in the tournament twice and won the thing twice.
What he's told me is make the tournament. And, August rolls around, a reliever gets a little tired. Hey, your ankle's bothering you, isn't it? Let's take a 10-day. Get off your feet a minute. Let your arms settle. Because if you're not 100% in October, it's not going to matter. I don't know if I'm the Saints. I know what I think I would try to do. And I know the backlash. And, God, if you miss the playoffs by one game, whew. But if you're the Saints, the goal isn't to make the playoffs. The goal is to win the Super Bowl. How do I win the Super Bowl? 100% Drew Brees.
That is my one path.
How do I get him to January 100%? Rested, loaded, ready. The answer, I think, is I take a couple of games off. That's what I think.
We identified a stretch that day we talked about it that made some sense. Because you had a bye week mixed into, you could do a little 2-week deal, and You could give him essentially 20 days off.
In baseball, you'll see a team, they have Monday off. You'll see a manager give a guy a Sunday off. You're like, why? Because he's giving him a 48-hour window.
Yeah. See you Tuesday night.
Giving him a break. Letting him get off his feet, letting him get out of his brain. Hey, go be a 27-year-old dude for 2 days.
Yeah, you're not playing today.
Yeah. Go chase your wife around. Go play with your kid. Go have dinner. You're not playing today. And we don't play tomorrow. See you at 5 o'clock on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Get away from the game for a little bit.
Yeah. Podcast brought to you in part by Mastercuts Lawn and Landscape. They do premium lawn care throughout northern Mississippi, but a lot more as well, including custom playgrounds, retaining walls, pool decks, outdoor living spaces, paver patios, forestry mulching, and much more. The path to your dream backyard is easier than you think. You can go online at gomastercuts.com for a free quote, or get that same free quote with 662-607-7773. Again, that's gomastercuts.com.
We've been telling you about this. We'll continue to tell you about it until the day rolls around. On September the 6th, that's the night before Ole Miss and Arkansas get together, literally 24 hours before Ole Miss and Arkansas get together at Vaught Hemingway. Blue Delta Jeans is hosting a whole hog roast at Wonderbird Spirits in Taylor, Mississippi. It starts at 6 o'clock. You're invited. The hog will be prepared by Neon Pigs, so it's going to be fantastic. It's a cash bar. Blue Delta Jeans will be out there with all of their summer and fall line. You can get fitted for a pair of jeans. You can check out all the different options. It'd be a really fun time. We'll be out there, so we'll look forward to seeing you as well at Wonderbird Spirits in Taylor. It's a really cool spot. 6 o'clock on Friday, September the 6th, the night before Ole Miss and Arkansas. We're also brought to you by Grenada Nissan. If you're in the market for a Nissan vehicle, look no further than Grenada Nissan. They have a complete selection of new and previously owned Nissan vehicles. Go in, test drive one today. Tell Gene and Sandy that you heard about Grenada Nissan. You'll get Rebel savings on top of the already great deals at Grenada Nissan. It's GrenadaNissanUSA.com. Podcast also brought to you by Harry Alexander. Harry is an Oxford-based RE/MAX Legacy Realty agent, big part of Savannah Square. It's a new 9-acre development, 0.7 of a mile from the Oxford downtown square, conveniently located east of North Lamar, just a short stroll from the Midtown Shopping Center. Go in, check out the model home at 215 William Street. You can see the wonderful layouts, the impeccable finishes which are available to you, and then get in touch with Harry. Go to SavannahSquareOxford.com or call or text Harry at 662-801-5621. We're also brought to you by Oxford University Bank, OUB, locally owned and operated right here in Oxford. When you deposit money at OUB, that money and the vast majority of the bank's profits go right back into the Oxford community. OUB gives you the comfort of home, all the benefits the big mega banks provide, all the technology and products you can want, all with the personal touch. When you call OUB, you speak directly with the live person, no 10 buttons to push, no 5-minute wait. They've got Kasasa. It's the absolute best cash checking account. They also have a commercial checking account, now paying 1% interest as long as you keep $10,000 in the account that comes with fully interactive online banking. To learn more, go to liveoxfordbankoxford.com or call 662-234-6668. And we're brought to you by 7 South Tailgating. 7 South offers packages for any budget, any party size, any number of games needed. Whether you're coming to one game, all 7, or somewhere in between, they can build a tailgating package to suit your needs and your budget. If you prefer to use your own tailgating gear, they'll store it, maintain it, clean it, repair it. If you prefer to rent some or all of your gear from 7 South, you can do that too. They offer many colors, types, and sizes to choose from. Call or go online today for a detailed quote customized to your specific needs. 662-321-1682 or visit 7southtailgating.com.
Podcast is brought to you by G&M Pharmacy there on South Lamar in Oxford. I stopped in yesterday, had it ready to go. Out the door quickly, 662-236-2222 is the phone number. You can go in. You can ask them about the CBD oil we've discussed. They have many different applications for that, including sublingual oil, soft gel capsules, and more. You know that is FDA approved. It's legal in all 50 states and helps with many different conditions. And while you're in there, you can also ask about sildenafil as well. You can do that at the phone number. You can do that in person or online. You can go to TysonDrugs.com or GandMPharmacy.com. You click product request, your prescription right there online. Don't have to talk to anybody. They'll be as discreet as you need, and they also offer MedSync and free delivery. So plenty going on there with G&M. Again, 662-236-2222. So we talked about offensive line. We talked about Rodriguez. You and I just kind of threw a grapevine. We heard Corral had a good scrimmage, I think was the word that has most been used on Saturday.
Yes. I was told he did generally well. It sounds like he may have forced a couple of things, may have forced a couple of throws. Here's the thing about Corral going forward, and you can watch the video of him. There's some written content in my story, my notebook yesterday. I also posted his video. Matt burns hot. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
If he were a vehicle, you would always be a little worried that you were overheating. He's always raring to go. It's a good thing. It's also a cautionary thing with quarterbacks. I'm going to say it 1,000 times. And look, I hope he has a great year. He's a great story. For us, he's a fantastic. Matt Corral being like a superstar as a redshirt freshman would be manna from journalism heaven. Because
he's so intense, he kind of makes me laugh when I see him. I just sort of chuckle because he comes in, and it's just there. It's on his face. He's not jittery per se, but he's just always kind of moving. He's just kind of bouncing around, and he doesn't sit still. And
doing well enough that we get to do a deep dive into Matt Corral would be manna from journalism heaven. That said, I'm going to repeat this because I don't know why. Maybe it's part of being a 49-year-old man. Maybe it's part of having a child who's not much younger than Matt. Expecting greatness from him right away is not fair, if anybody is. Expecting him to play mistake-free football as a redshirt freshman in the SEC is not fair. Expecting him, who's never started a game, to come in and consistently play like a seasoned vet is not fair. And I'm not saying anybody is, but if you are.
It's not that anybody is, but it's that there might be the need to have to.
And that's not fair.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen, you can't go, I tell you that correct. Nope, he's a redshirt freshman. That's his first start.
That's why he's fascinating. I mean, we all saw the fight. We all saw the stuff. It's how can he handle himself? Because where are you going here? Because everything we hear is, hey, arm, talent, locked in, leader, done a lot of that stuff. I mean, Matt Luke named him the offensive leader on the team during media day.
Yeah.
The leader, a redshirt freshman quarterback.
And from watching practice,
has a little bit of it, but that's it.
And from watching practice, other than Rich Rodriguez, I think he is.
It's simply how he handles the transition and how he calms himself down and realizes, hey, but later on, maybe I can be this guy. I can't be Brett Favre right now. I can't right now be Brett Favre. And he's going to be a little Brett Favre because that's who Matt Corral is. But he can't throw 22 interceptions this year. He just cannot do it.
But to ever be Brett Favre, he's got to go through the Brett Favre growing pains.
It's a little bit of a catch-22, isn't it?
It's hard, man. I mean.
Well, I mean, I referenced this story with you right before we started the podcast, and I'll do it here, and I'm going to protect the identity. I was talking to somebody earlier this year. And I'm not going to give their name, but if I told you, you would pep up and listen to what they had to say.
Every word.
Yeah. And we're discussing Corral and whatever, and he says, big-time talent, all SEC quarterback, on and on and on and on. Down the road. The ability to be one. Compared him to a few guys that, again, not going to mention because it didn't give name away. But said it's all about his head. Said it's all about his head. It's all about his nerves. And the phrase he used was, what's he do when the bullets start flying? And his point being, like we've talked about, those 2 3-and-outs in a row. You get down by 17 to somebody, and then can you just be methodical? Can you keep it contained in? And it's all tying together. That's what Neil's talking about too. It's, can you learn how to do that? It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be a day one thing. But can you figure out how to balance what's great about your kineticism, if you will, and then
third down and 13.
Else. Yeah, can you just throw the dang thing away?
Or eat it.
Yeah.
Can you throw it away or can you eat it? I'll give you another example. 3rd and 14 and you scramble for 9 yards. How hard do you try to get the last 5?
Mm-hmm.
When that's a spot where, you know what? I minimize the damage here. Let's go down and punt. Let me get down. Let me live to fight another
Let me
day.
not pull a Bo Wallace and separate a shoulder at Tulane trying to get those extra 5 yards.
And I wonder with Matt, and I don't know if this is fair or not. We'll see. I don't know. Is he a guy that has to learn lessons the hard way? A lot of guys who are wired his way have to learn lessons the hard way. Hard to tell a guy don't compete when all he does is compete. It's hard to go in and change somebody's wiring. You hear like women say, you can't change a man. I know that's not what they're referring to, but it kind of is. Like, we talk about Matt Luke. Matt's who he is. That's the way he's wired. I'm never going to be the super duper laid back, self-confident, happy-go-lucky dude. I'm not wired that way.
You're not Maverick from Top Gun.
No. Now, have I worked to get better about controlling things and stuff? Yeah, sure. But I'm almost 50. You're asking a 19-year, what's Matt, 19, 20?
Sure.
You're asking that dude with adrenaline and testosterone and everything racing through his veins, hey, calm down. Was Eli Manning better as a senior or a sophomore?
I can tell you statistically. I'm kidding. Senior, of course.
Better as a senior.
Yeah.
I mean,
he had a really good statistical season as a sophomore.
Yeah. But he made fewer mistakes that year. Just, it's a growth. And we'll see.
Well, even as a senior, Eli had to deal with some of the same things because the stakes were higher. At the season they were having, you are trying. Hey, this game. No offense to their sophomore season, but that game at Auburn meant a whole lot dang more than that game against somebody as a sophomore when you were just 7-5 or 7-4 as a sophomore. So
yeah.
You know what I mean. That's a whole different game played a little there.
And I feel guilty about it because I still do it to a degree, and because I know the ramifications of the Memphis game. If Ole Miss loses to Memphis, it makes the Arkansas game, quote, critical, end quote. If Ole Miss beats Memphis, it gets people excited for Arkansas. But what does it really mean, big picture? I don't know. That's why if you're inside that program, you can't turn Memphis into this must-win game. You just can't. Because no matter what the score is, how it turns out, you got to get up the next day, and for the first time, hey, let's practice. Let's watch the film. Here's what we did wrong. Let's fix it. Got a game in 6 days. Got a conference game in 6 days.
What are your thoughts on this college Hard Knocks deal that HBO's got going?
Hadn't seen it.
You hadn't seen this? They've chosen 4 programs to do a Hard Knocks style series with, or at least an episode per team. I don't know. It looks like they're documenting a couple different games.
Okay.
It did not end up happening. Ole Miss was slated to do that with True TV back in 2009, and Nutt killed it because I think he did recognize his team was a bunch of basket cases at that point.
Well, and he
was a basket case.
Was wired a certain way too.
Yeah.
There's a certain amount of paranoia there.
Look, we deal with some of this in our jobs where, hey, there's some things that happen where they're really good ideas in March, and then in September it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that we still want to do that? Is that good?
Yeah, it wasn't so smart.
Yeah. So here we go. 4 schools. You won't be overly surprised by this list, I don't think. However, I think a few of them you'll be pretty locked in on. You might get into this.
Kansas?
No. You ready though?
Yeah.
Arizona State.
Yeah.
Herm Edwards.
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay. Washington State.
Oh, God.
You're in.
Yeah. Put the IV right there.
Penn State.
Ooh. You know what? In.
You're in there too. 1 to go.
Okay.
Alabama.
Locked in.
Alabama, Penn State, Washington State, Arizona State.
It shows you how, and Nick Saban's in his 60s, how comfortable he has suddenly gotten in his skin. Also might tell you that he does not like the robot perception that some people have of him. And let Nick Saban never tell you that he doesn't care what people think. He cares. A lot.
So those four. Yeah, you get Herm Edwards, James Franklin, Nick Saban, and Mike Leach.
That's on HBO?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in.
That's HBO.
I'm in.
Appears to be the same producers that do Hard Knocks.
Yeah, I'll watch. Good choices, gentlemen.
That's
Ladies.
really good choices. You get a little bit of a cross section there. It's pretty good.
Oh, I'd love to get behind the scenes with Mike Leach. Because it can't be the Pirate Act 24/7. There's got to be something more there. Like, what is it? Franklin burns really hot.
I will be least interested in him simply from the standpoint of I don't like him.
Right.
He's so disingenuous that I just, yeah.
He was on the cusp of turning Vanderbilt into a legitimate football program.
They won 9 games in a row twice.
Complete with all the
They
crap.
won 9 games twice in a row.
Yeah, complete with all the crap that happens in a lot of programs. I'm frankly surprised he hasn't gotten over the hump at Penn State yet.
They've been good.
And it might be because Penn State, with all the damage, can't get over the hump.
I mean, to a large extent, they just can't beat Ohio State.
And they're different now.
Yeah. And then we'll see what happens with Michigan. Who knows? I mean, whatever.
But this is a good year to follow Penn State. They're an interesting team. If you were to say
they're a little better than people are giving them credit for being right now.
If someone says name 5 teams that could make the playoff that nobody's predicting,
that would be one of them.
They would be one of my 5.
Yeah. I'd buy that.
Yeah.
I'm in on that. So, yeah, pretty neat there. Again, coverage at rebelgrove.com as we have playing football yesterday, another football practice tomorrow, and then one on Friday as well. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week for that. And then we'll kind of sort out the podcast schedule for you as we can. So we'll put that up wherever we know to do that, and we will talk to you soon.